The season finale doesn't end with triumph, it ends with dread, quiet, creeping, and deeply personal. After episodes of survivalist struggle, alien invasions, and desperate hope, the final moments deliver the story's most devastating truth. The real threat isn't just out there in the alien light, it's already inside the survivors. It opens with Juan hallucinating a conversation with a woman he killed earlier in the season. They're in front of this trippy mural filled with imagery like skeletons, bugs, St. George gas masks, burning towers, and an infinity sign. It's not just random, we're talking callbacks to pretty much every major plot point. The bugs are the aliens, the gas masks and flashlights were essential survival gear, the burning tower links to the group's escape plan, and the jeep might even be the one Inga drove. There's also some deeper stuff baked in, St. George fighting evil, the moon and infinity symbol hinting at time loops or destiny, and Juan being smack in the middle of it all as humanity's last shot. Juan wakes up from the nightmare and we see the squad, Tano, Anna, Inga, and the rest, sheltered by the military. The army wants to broadcast a message to surviving humans, telling them to head to Campo de Mayo for safety. The only problem, the path to the radio tower is overrun with alien-controlled zones. Their wild solution, crash a train straight through. Tano's against the idea at first. After everything, he's tired, traumatized, and scared. But once he hears how little hope there is left, he agrees to join. The team splits up. Juan and Tano lead the train push, while Inga goes with Moro's group. Juan's side gets the job done. They reach the tower and send out the broadcast, telling survivors where to go, but then things start to unravel fast. Moro's squad gets snatched by mind-controlled humans. The aliens are turning people into their own soldiers now. That's not even the worst part. Later, during a regular hangout, Lucas loses it over a card game. He straight up stabs Omer, starts ranting about being watched, and then throws himself off a building. Juan and Tano witness the whole thing stunned. Turns out Lucas was planted all along. He had one job, lure survivors, help spread the message, then take himself out once his usefulness ran out. This is a grim preview of what might happen to anyone infected by the hive. Lucas's sudden stabbing of Omer and his subsequent suicide aren't random. They're the consequences of being used and discarded. The aliens don't just control people, they break them. Lucas was likely programmed with just enough awareness to carry out his task, but not enough stability to survive it. Moro comes back, but he's clearly not the same. He and his squad are full-on controlled. They attack, and only Juan, Favalli, Mosca, and Franco manage to escape. Juan and Franco get off the train to investigate the strange blue light pouring from the stadium, while the others race back to warn Campo de Mayo. Mosca reveals he's been documenting everything, trying to make sure none of it gets forgotten. He's a journalist, and his notes might end up being the only record of what really went down. Juan and Franco find a straight-up cult forming around a human-alien hybrid inside a gazebo. These hybrids are the real bosses now. They control the hive mind and connect to regular people using weird lumps embedded in their heads. And just when you think it can't get worse, Juan realizes that some of the hybrids, like the one that looks like his daughter Clara, retain old memories, just enough to act human. The gut punch, Clara might still look like his daughter, but she's one of them now. Juan has to face the fact that the people he loves could be enemy agents in disguise. Even worse, she is hiding among the survivors, playing the long game. The finale wraps up with Juan and Franco getting ready to sneak into the enemy camp to rescue Inga and Grandote, but the emotional weight is clear. Juan's biggest fight might not be with the aliens, but with what's left of the people he used to trust. Season 2 is set to dig deep into that tension, especially with Juan having to warn his group that Clara, his own daughter, is working for the enemy. Juan also tells Franco, "I remember where I know you from. I've been here before. I've done this before." It's a huge thematic turning point in the Eternaut, and it directly ties into the story's deeper metaphysical and political layers. This line implies that Juan has lived through this apocalypse before, or some version of it, whether it's a literal time loop, a multiverse iteration, or metaphorical cycle of rebellion. It signals that Juan is not experiencing this for the first time. In the Eternaut's original comic, there is a meta-twist in which Juan travels through time to warn people about the coming invasion, possibly even becoming part of the resistance before it begins. This moment echoes that, suggesting that Juan is a symbol of eternal struggle, doomed to repeat the fight against authoritarian, dehumanizing forces. When Juan says he recognizes Franco, it suggests Franco might be a fellow returning figure, someone Juan has encountered in past versions of this battle. It might mean that Juan is beginning to see the repeating patterns, the same types of people, betrayals, losses, playing out again and again. Franco is just the latest iteration of someone Juan once knew, trusted, or perhaps lost. One of the show's central themes is memory, what we remember, what we forget, and how memory is manipulated by oppressive systems, like the alien hive mind that rewires humans but retains their memories. Eternaut used the story as an allegory for resistance against fascism, imperialism, and dictatorship. Juan's comment about having done this before plays into that theme. The fight against dehumanization, exploitation, and state control is eternal. Each generation is doomed to confront it again. Juan's line becomes a haunting echo of this truth. He's not just one man remembering a past life, he's the voice of countless resistors throughout history who've seen this pattern before and are trying once again to change the outcome. Juan's realization that he's been here before may be his moment of breaking through mental control or narrative manipulation. It's a defiant reclaiming of awareness in a world designed to erase or rewrite identities.